Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Conversations. Sabotage, Part 2. We're talking about what we say to ourselves and how that kind of colors the actions that we take. And all of that ties into how we think about ourselves and what we believe about ourselves and what we really think we deserve to have. I've heard this point argued by many people, um, that are in the self-development industry and do self-help books and mentor and talk to people and motivate people. Um, but I do want to grassroots tie it together for the person who's out here getting started and just enjoying what I have to say because it's kind of new to them and because they're just getting their feet wet into the development game, the self-development game, because it's a game, guys, and it's a business too, but it's mostly a game on the individual level. So say let's say you want to own a business and you know nothing about business, um, but you know that you've seen people who own their own businesses and you like the fact that maybe they can set their own hours and that they have very decent pay, maybe they have nice things, and they have some power and control over other people, and you see that and you like that and you say, man, I'd like to own my own business, someday, but I can never do that because, and then fill in the blank. Well, that's a way of sabotaging yourself and keeping yourself from trying. And it's a negative motivation because you may be motivating yourself not to try because you feel like what they call fatalistic. This is what I have and this is what I'm always going to have. It's just like that bullshit about how if you're born on this level, then you'll never escape it. Garbage. Okay. Hundreds of people escape their fate, their level that they're born on, probably daily, in various ways. Maybe not into the multi-million-dollar fashion, but daily. Okay. The guy that had alcoholic parents that doesn't drink, or the person who comes from an abusive home but doesn't become an abuser themselves. And the list goes on and on. And those to me are escaping your fate, or your fatalistic level that you've been ascribed by others in life. So back to sabotage. Okay, so you say to yourself, well, I could never do that though. Why couldn't you? There's no reason why you couldn't except you. Um, and then you can say, all right, instead of saying that, okay, well, what would I need to do to get there? And then answer it as honestly as you can because you're not an expert yet. So you're going to answer it on your level. You're going to eat on the level of your vision right now. You're going to answer it that way. So maybe in your mind, it means education, or it means that you need to start saving your money, or it means that you need to start looking at getting into a business similar to that, or the business that you saw, and working your way up and learning and watching. Okay. Those are all positive answers instead of, oh, but I could never do that because fill in the blank. Okay. But you have to also look at how you feel when you say certain things to yourself, especially if you're going to break out of your comfort zone. And this is what I mean. Okay. It was very comfortable probably to say, oh, but I can never do that because there's a part of you that wants to stay right where you are and is kind of lazy about it and wants nice things but doesn't want to roll up your sleeves. And there's a lot of people that want great things, but they don't want to do the work and roll up their sleeves. Moi included at points in time, but I'm trying to break out of that more and more every day, and it's changing my life. Um, but we look at things and we want that, but we don't want to roll up our sleeves and we don't want to pay the cost to be the boss, as Snoop Dogg says. Um, you have to be willing to understand that you're going to have to do something different than what you're doing right now to get there. And sabotaging yourself is saying things like, oh, I could never do that, or oh, I like that, but. Okay. But is a dream killer. Les Brown said it. I believe it. It will tear up your dreams and stomp on them and spit on them. You need to erase that one from your vocabulary whenever you're talking about something that you want to do, or something that you haven't done yet and you're curious about whether or not you can do it. But when we go back to the idea of digging around and wrestling with your sabotage, at any point in time when you say something about what you want, take a moment to look at and think how you feel. Take a moment to examine what your gut reaction to it is. Um, Especially when you're making it a point to say something positive about yourself. That's why I like the mirror technique, because I'll tell you a little story, and it's personal and vulnerable, so don't laugh too hard. But when I first got introduced to that mirror technique by Louise Hay, um, I had some problems with it. Uh, First problem I had with it is I had a very different picture in my mind of what I was as far as my even just my physical appearance than what it actually was when you look in the mirror. Without sparking any kind of other controversies, I did not see myself, and I heard Lisa Nichols say this, and I instantly associated with and empathized with it. I did not see, when I looked in the mirror at myself, what I thought of who I was. And so for a long time, I acted in a way that probably wasn't commensurate with who I am physically. And I hadn't learned to accept me physically, what I look like. I still necessarily haven't, but I'm better than I used to be because of this technique that I tried from her. But I wasn't able to look at myself and deny anymore that I was not the image that I saw on TV. And I hadn't gotten to the point yet where I was okay with the fact that I am not that. I don't have the wavy hair. I don't look like James Dean. I'm not Elvis Presley. I'm not, uh, heck, I'm not even Billy D. Williams or Dwayne Johnson. Okay, I'm me. And it's okay to be me, but it took me a little bit of a smack of standing in front of that mirror for a while to learn to accept myself. So back to the technique. So standing in front of that mirror allowed me to look at me, really truly look at me, and start to actively try to appreciate things about me so that I could prevent some of the sabotage that happened in my life as far as things I didn't think I was capable of, when I would actually remember that I wasn't the images that I saw. So looking in that mirror and actually being okay with yourself is a very big step. Being able to then talk to yourself and tell yourself good things about yourself is another big step. And you'll find yourself probably getting uncomfortable if you have any beliefs, especially those that you're not aware of, that cause you not to feel like you are good enough or you deserve something. And it absolutely is sabotaging your life. And it actually is causing you to behave in ways that will give you what you think about yourself that you aren't honest with or haven't dug up yet, because it's like an onion. There are various layers, and as you dig through layers, you're going to come up with different things. And it is not a straight up climb, and it's not a race to the finish line. It is a stair stepping, layer by layer process of growth. And so at each level, you're going to pull up layers that are going to make you feel like you haven't gotten anywhere. But that's just a feeling. Eric Thomas says something that I like very much. Behind a lot of your feelings is nothing, but behind every principle is a promise. I like that. So let's work on the principles. We're going to try to work on being able to look at ourselves and tell ourselves things and notice how we feel. And so that starts the process of eliminating some of the sabotage. It starts the process of you starting to touch your subconscious and question the things that maybe you've programmed into it before. But not going to be easy. And because you do have things that you think about yourself that you're not aware of, you are going to sometimes sabotage yourself with behaviors that are going to put you back to where you were or behind where you were, because of the fact that you have now made your subconscious uncomfortable and yourself uncomfortable about the things that you formerly believed about yourself that you're now trying to change. So, telling yourself good things is one way to eliminate sabotage. on a subconscious level, because again, subconscious doesn't care. It doesn't care one whit whether you tell yourself you're ugly or you're beautiful. It's just going to do what you say. And because you say that you're ugly, it's going to cause you to do things and take actions that are going to keep you ugly and make you uglier. Okay, whether they're in attitude or physicality or how you take care of your health or anything that contributes to your ugliness. Just like if you tell yourself you're beautiful or you're powerful, you're excellent, remember that. You are going to do things eventually, actions and behaviors that are going to reinforce and enhance that belief as it becomes a part of your true everyday makeup. So, again, playing with sabotage. Thinking of the fact that what you say is going to cause you to do stuff to make it true. Self-fulfilling prophecy, I think it's called in some circles. You know, what you say, you get. Um, Also, law of attraction and other laws that have something to do with that. So I encourage you to work on the self-sabotage and to work on ways of beating it. I really espouse the mirror technique simply because it was damn uncomfortable. Because one of the things that she has you do over time as a progression is to actually look at yourself full length mirror, if you have one, nude, and be okay with what you see. So we'll get to that another time because I think it'd be an interesting story to tell. Um, but for suffice it to say that it helped me to notice some areas where I didn't feel good about myself, and that allowed me to question what I say to myself and to question where I might possibly be sabotaging my life based on that uncomfortable experience that I was hit in the face with that made me look at things that I was doing that weren't helping me. So, anyway, just wanted to throw it out there again, rambling and thinking about things. Um, Want to talk about some ways to eliminate sabotage on an unconscious level, and I will actually share with you guys my experiences with the mirror technique in another clip. So, thanks for sharing my armchair. And again, like it, don't like it, hate it, love it. Just tell me about it. Do something. Subscribe, unsubscribe, go back and forth, up and down, give me comments, hit me up. Those of you that are local that know me, just let me know something. Do something. Make a move today, an action today that will reap another one and another one, whether it's positive or negative, because I'm counting it all good and it's all for learning and growing. So, again, thanks for sharing my armchair, guys, and hopefully you have a great day today.